Hello, YouTubes. Welcome back to yet another quarantine edition vlog. I thought I'd go a little different today, do a little something different. I was talking to a friend of the channel over on the Cobwebs and Candlesticks Facebook page, Scott Swanson. And he was talking about that he really likes the paranormal and he's into paranormal investigating. And I myself have a paranormal story. I really don't talk about it much. It wasn't a bad story. It wasn't like you see on TV, like that Zach Begging guys going around trying to start fights with ghosts. Come on, ghost! You know, with a faux hawk and a baby T on. I mean, that guy's a freaking douche canoe. Um, my story goes way back when. It happened when I was younger. I was probably 14, 15 years old. I think I was in my sophomore year. My dad decided we were going to go to Florida. I had an aunt who lived down there with my three female cousins. And we piled all the kids up in the car. We drove on down to Florida for a week to do Wally World and Disney World and all the stuff. And we stay at my aunt's house and then go to see our attractions and then come back at the end of the day because she was in Gainesville. So we get down there and my aunt at the pool at the house she had a built-in pool, like most homes in Florida. So we had spent all day in the pool playing around, my cousins, my brothers and sisters. At the end of the day, when it got dark, they decided, hey, we're going to go out and get something to eat. You want to come with? I'm like, nah, I'm tired. I just want to lay on the couch in the air conditioning, spread on the couch, have the house to myself, turn the movie on, and the house was empty. It was just me. So, I'd been on the pool all day. I had dried off, taking a shower. My eyes were burning from the chlorine. And I was laying on the couch just enjoying myself, watching a movie. And I'll show you, I got a little visual aid made up for you guys. Hopefully you can see it on camera. This is my aunt's house. Here's the pool down here. So I was in the pool all day. My aunt had a 25-inch floor model TV with the rabbit ears, I'm laying on the couch. This is a dark hallway. This goes back to the bedrooms. This is my aunt's room. This is me laying on the couch. This is a little end table with a lidded lamp on it. And the only light that was on, the kitchen's over here. The only lamp was on. Well, the only light was the lamp and the TV light. And like I said, I was kind of spaced out. I was just sitting there kind of laying on the couch, just kind of staring off into space, whatever, watching a movie, just relaxing from the day in the pool. And looking at my feet, I could see what looked like to appear like a little face. And I thought, that's kind of odd. It almost looked like when you stare at a light bulb too long, when you take the shade off of a lamp and you stare at the light bulb and it kind of burns the shape of the light bulb in your face. It was pretty much exactly that, only I could tell the face was a little girl. And she was smiling at me. And I thought, hey, that looks like a little girl's face who's smiling at me. I don't know if it was the chlorine or just being exhausted from being in the pool and playing all day. But she was right by my feet, and I could see her face smiling, and she had kind of doe-eyed. She was big eyes, young girl's face, probably 4 or 5 years old. I could kind of see just a little bit of wisps of hair, so I for some reason, I knew she had blue eyes and blonde hair. I don't know why. I just knew that. And I knew she was probably 3, 4, maybe 5 years old, tops. So I was looking down at my feet, and I could see from under the lamp that little face move forwards right by my feet. And then it smiled at me. And I kind of smiled back, and then the face would disappear. It would go back under the lamp and disappear. And then I was watching my movie and spacing out, and then like a couple of minutes later, I could see in the dark hallway where the light didn't touch, I could see the face up in the air, 6 feet, 7 feet, where no little child could be that tall. And she was sticking her head out of my aunt's room, smiling at me, and then ducking back into my aunt's room, like playing peekaboo. And I thought, man, that's really weird. That looks like a little girl whose face is really high, and she's coming in and out of my aunt's room, playing peekaboo with me on the couch. And I thought, oh, that's kind of odd. So then a couple minutes later, I see the little face. This is a white wall, floating in the air again, 5, 6 feet tall, smiling at me, kind of almost like leering at me, smiling at me. And I thought, man, she was under the lamp. Now she's in and out of the bedroom. Now she's here up in the major opening part of the living room. The couch pretty much just defined the hallway. But this little girl kind of played peekaboo with me. And I really wasn't scared. I really wasn't, alarmed. I just thought it was weird that, man, that looks, like a little smiling, happy girl's face, with chubby cheeks, and she was doe-eyed. Like I said, I couldn't see hair, but I knew there was some kind of wisps of hair, and she had blonde hair, and for some reason, I knew she had blue eyes. Um, and this went on for maybe, I don't know, half an hour off and on, her playing peekaboo in and out of my aunt's dark room, and then coming under the lamp right at my feet, almost on top of my toes, smiling, and then disappearing under the lamp, kind of almost like looking away and then disappearing. But she looked exactly like as if I had stared at a light bulb too long and then looked, only the face, the shape that you burned into your eyes, moved and smiled. And I thought, man, I don't know if I'm seeing things, whatever. I didn't think nothing of it. I watched my movie. I fell asleep on the couch. And then lo and behold, later on, everybody comes home. Turn the lights on. Everybody's, up, doing their thing. Let's go back in the pool. So I never really thought about it. Vacation's over. We come home. I never think about it. I never say anything about it. And I'm like 14 years old at the time, maybe 15. Like I said, I was a sophomore in high school. So years and years go past, and years later, I'm at my dad's house for a family barbecue, and my cousin Maggie comes up from Florida. My aunt was letting the house go. She wasn't going to be in it anymore. She's going to downsize, go to an apartment or something. So we're having a barbecue. Maggie was up visiting from Florida. So we were kind of talking about, the vacations we used to have and the stuff we used to do. And at the time, I'm like, oh, Christ, this is over 20 years later, probably. Almost 20 years later. So my cousin's like, yeah, we're giving up the house. It's too much for mom now. She wants something smaller. So she goes, well, I guess we're not going to see that little ghost girl anymore. And this is the middle of summertime. It's like 90 degrees. We're in the backyard. And my hair on my arms instantly stood up. And I thought, oh my God, did she just say little ghost girl? And up until that point, nobody had ever said a damn word all the years. And I had been there since on other vacations in that house and stayed there for a month one year in my junior year before I started senior year. I lived with my aunt for a month in Florida. Never saw anything. I didn't even think about it when I was down there. It never even crossed my mind. But so Maggie comes out of the blue with, well, I guess we're never going to see that little ghost girl anymore. And like I said, it's 90 degrees. We're sitting outside. The hair on my arm stood up. The hair on the back of my neck stood up. And I knew, holy Christ, what I saw was exactly what I saw. I had never thought about it from the time I saw that little girl over 20 years earlier when I was a teenager. And it just come back out of the blue like a rocket to my brain. And I thought, wow, that's really what I saw. I knew what I had seen, but I had never said anything. And even the years past that I had been there, never had another contact with the little girl. So they say that when you see certain things, or it's not like the movies. It was kind of a sweet little interaction that didn't scare me, didn't alarm me. But they say that you have sort of a tendency to pick up on those things, or why certain people single you out. So do I believe in the supernatural? Absolutely, because of that. I don't think it's like the movies. Maybe it is for some people, and I'm not going to knock other people's stories, but that's my story, and I know it to be true. I would put my children's lives in line for it if I were lying. But it wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't a horror movie. It was just a nice little moment that I didn't know what I was really involved in until all the years later, when it was compounded right there to me that, oh yeah, there was a little ghost girl in the house. So at least I know I wasn't the only one. And it was kind of proven to me all the years later that what I saw and interacted with actually was what was going on in that house. So that's sort of my ghost story. I've never had an incident since. I do have a lot of bad deja vu where I feel like I've been somewhere when I walk into a room, or I know what something is around a corner. I have no psychic abilities. I claim to have none of that, but everybody's a little different. So I thought I'd share that with you guys, and thanks to Scott Squanson for talking to me about it. I kind of relayed the story to him, and he thought it was interesting. But since that point, I've had no contact, seen nothing, interacted with nothing. So I don't know if it was a one-time thing or if there is more down the line. But for me, I believe. I don't think it's like the Zach Bagans guy, that douche canoe on TV trying to fight goats in a baby t-shirt and a faux hawk. But for me, that's my story. So I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this. And if you guys have your own ghost stories, hey, come on the Cobwebs and Candlesticks Facebook page or the Trio of Terror page and let us know. Share with us. I'd be interested to hear and see what other people's experiences were. If there was a bad experience. Like I said, mine was a good experience. I didn't even know I was having an experience until 20 years later. So if you guys have your own ghost stories, hey, come to the Trio of Terror page on Facebook or the Cobwebs and Candlesticks Facebook page and relay your stories. I'd like to hear them and see if you guys had ever, cross paths with anything supernatural like I did. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope to see you guys soon on the Cobwebs and Candlesticks Facebook page, or come see the Trio of Terror and share your stories with us. So thanks so much for watching. You guys hang in there during this quarantine virus. I think we're getting to the point where they're going to start lifting the bans and we can start moving around again, and hopefully we'll see by the end of the month. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging in there and watching these daily vlogs and uploads. We're busting our ass to keep you guys kind of entertained and busy. So hey, come see us and share your stories with us at the Cobwebs and Candlesticks page or the Trio of Terror page. So thanks so much for watching, you guys. I truly appreciate it. Thanks. You guys take care.